Slabberoonies, what is up? We've got another bait review coming at you, and this one's pretty exciting. There's been a lot of hype around this bait, and of course I'm talking about the Lunkerhunt Phantom Spider. Got my hands on it. Y'all, there's been so much hype around this bait. Everyone wants to get their hands on it. Everyone's curious to see if it actually works. They're wondering if it catches fish. They're wondering what the action is like, what it looks like in the water. Does it look like a real spider? Can you prank your friends with it? So like every bait review video, we're gonna go out on the water and test this thing out, see if we can catch a fish on it, see how it swims, see what it looks like. And then we're gonna come back here and I'm gonna break it down and give you guys my honest, cold, hard, truth, honest feedback as always. So make sure you watch the entire video from start to end, because the end is really where the juicy stuff is. All right, guys, let's go get on the water and test this spider out. All right, guys, first cast with the spider going out. Okay, so one thing with this thing, y'all, it's super light. Like, I'm throwing this on my lightest spinning gear, my lightest spinning setup, and it's still like kind of hard to throw. It looks like it floats, but when you twitch it, it wants to kind of go underwater. It's interesting. It's hard to see because it's black, but every time you twitch it, it wants to sink. That front end of it wants to sink. I don't know, guys. The legs aren't really moving a whole ton. I guess they're wiggling around a little bit. But let's just keep fishing. And then let's put it up in a tree. I don't really know how to fish this thing either. I think you just twitch it, right? I mean, how else would you fish a spider? Again, y'all, this thing is super light. It's only a 1/4 ounce, and honestly, it feels lighter than that. It's hollow. I don't know. There's just not a lot to it. It's very small, and as such, it's hard to cast really well. It's kind of like casting a potato chip. Oh, dude, he had it. I don't know if that was a bass or just a little brim, but we got a little blow up on that. Oh, there he is. Oh, dang it, he didn't have it. Dang it. That'll work. They just don't have it. Oh, I can't tell if these are little brim going up and pecking at it. Oh yeah, it's a brim. That was a brim. Okay, well, brim like this thing. You know, we've been fishing this around kind of open water. It might be better suited for brushy overhangs and things like that, putting it up on a log and then dropping it off of the log. But all right. Come here, you. Spider is locked and loaded. I need a quick sip. Okay, let's catch a dang spider fish. Oh, do you see that? Yeah. That's a little brim or something. Ooh. That looked like something was about to chase it there. Looked like a wake. Yeah, so this spider sinks. And I know I'm using a fluorocarbon leader, but I'm using a pretty heavy fluorocarbon leader. It should stay up better than it does. I mean, it sinks like a rock. I'm basically, there it is. There it is. Oh, yes. We got one on the spider. Oh, that was so cool. Oh, no way.
This is good one. Look at that one.
Oh!
Oh yeah, baby.
Here, let's take him over here. Oh. Oh. Come here, you. Well. We got one on the spider. Wow. Look at that, y'all. The spider hooked him right in the corner of the mouth. That was a nice blow up. Whew. Wow, look at that. And it still appears to be in good shape, so that's good. I've read reviews that this thing gets torn up when it gets annihilated like that, so. Oh, that was so cool though. That was sick, man. He was sitting right in that current. Actually, I want to get out of the water here so we don't spook anymore. But here, look at that one, y'all.
That's a good one.
Look at that. Okay guys, welcome back. It is time for the review of the spider. Now we caught one out there, which was pretty cool. I was starting to think that I wasn't going to catch one on this thing, but I did end up getting one, so that was cool. But now guys, it is time to give you my honest review of the Lunkerhunt Phantom Spider. You know, I fish quite a bit. I really do. I fish tournaments. I'm not the best fisherman in the world. I'm not a pro. But I've put in a lot of time on the water. And I can go ahead and tell you this right now. And this is going to trigger some people. This is going to kill any sponsorship opportunities that we might have with Lunkerhunt. Lunkerhunt, I'm sorry. This is nothing against y'all's baits. Y'all make great baits. This, however, is not one of them. All right. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. This bait, this spider is the dumbest, most waste of space lure I have ever fished with, and probably will ever fish with, to be perfectly honest with you. This thing has no room in my tackle box. It is not a bait that I will ever trust to get bites in a situation where other things won't get bites. It's got no distinct advantages for me. It is, it's so stupid and it frustrates me. I suppose you want some explanation for this. I mentioned it a few times when we were out there on the lake, but the first thing that just, drives me nuts with this thing is it sinks. I mean, it's supposed to be a topwater. It's supposed to sit nicely on the surface and glide along just like a spider or like a, what do they call it? A water strider, right? Man, it does not do that. It hits the water and this front end just starts going like that. It's not good. It is not good. And you try to twitch it back with your rod tip down, it's not going to work. You have to get your rod tip up. And if you know anything about topwater, when your rod tip is up like that and a fish bites it, you got to drop the rod, reel in that slack, and set the hook. And on a spinning rod, it works on a bait caster, but on a spinning rod, that does not work. That's not what I want to do. I don't know how you throw this thing on a bait caster. It is a 1/4 ounce, and it does not do well at all in the wind. It casts like a potato chip. To me, you really can only fish this thing effectively on spinning gear. A couple other points about this bait. I've read a lot of reviews that it is not very durable. These legs particularly have come off when people have caught fish on it. I can totally see how that would happen. I mean, like, I feel like just pulling these legs like this is like making this stuff, like, look at that. There's glue in there. Like, I feel like that's already starting to peel off a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Does not seem like a very durable bait. The other thing that was just an absolute deal breaker for me is the fact that this thing just looks like, it looks like Halloween decoration. Like, I feel like I could go to Party City and buy one of these right now that just doesn't have a hook in it. Like, I could buy a small little frog hook like this and then go to Party City, get one of these Halloween decorations, and make my own Lunkerhunt Spider Lure. That might be exaggerating things a little bit, but the action on here, it comes from just these wiggly legs. Like, it looks like a toy, you know? Like, there's no like distinct primary action. Really, I felt like if I wasn't imparting action on it, if I wasn't twitching my rod tip, then this thing would have no appeal, no action at all. It's just stupid. It's so stupid. It's a spider. It's a spider. It's a plastic toy spider. That's what it is. It's not a serious bass fishing bait. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. If you disagree with it, let me know in the comments. Again, I know that there are tons of videos out there already of this thing getting blown up on. But guys, look, if you go to the right pond and you go during the right time, you can put a handkerchief on a hook and twitch it around on the surface, and a bass is gonna blow up on it. I put this thing to the test in some actual fisheries that you actually have to fool them at, and it only caught one. Sorry guys, it's just, I'm done. That is it. That is a wrap on the spider lure. I have nothing else to say about it. I'm certainly never going to fish with it again. I'm gonna put it up somewhere in a keepsake box so I can open it up like 10 years from now and be like, oh, there's the spider. I remember that thing. That thing was stupid. Man, I have been so harsh on this thing. It might be a little unfair. Let me go get it one more time. All right, Spider. I'm gonna throw you just a little bit of love for this video. If there's any silver lining to this spider, it is that it's very, very subtle on top of the water. And you know, I could see where maybe if the fishing is super tough, they're really skittish, maybe like super clear water, right? And there's like no wind, there's no ripple on the water, then this thing might perform better than something else. And guys, I get the reason behind all the hype, right? Like, it's a creepy crawly spider. People are afraid of spiders. Just saying the phrase spider fishing lure like gets everyone just all jacked out of their minds. So I totally understand. I get why it's hyped up. I don't really get why it won Best of Show at ICAST. That's a little crazy to me. The whole like craftsmanship thing is the reason why it won. I'm not buying that, man. I don't get it. But I do get the fact that it is a spider and that has been marketed very well. And there's just been this viral effect to it. So I'm not trying to dampen the hype. I'm just saying this is not a serious bass fishing lure. This is more on the novelty side of things for me. So guys, honestly, the only way I'm going to fish with this thing again is if you guys rip me up in the comments and say I'm an idiot and say, you don't know what you're talking about. The spider works great. I've caught my personal best on the spider. Okay, then fine. Like, if you guys peer pressure me enough, I'll make another video fishing this thing and I'll try to get a big one on it. But unless that happens, I'm not fishing with this again. That's all I got, guys. If you are a serious fisherman, or you aspire to be a serious fisherman, or you just love fishing and can't get enough fishing content, then guys, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. You will not regret it. We are doing all kinds of bait reviews. In fact, let me give you a sneak peek of the next bait. That's all you get to see. That's all I got, guys. Hope you have a good one. Keep fishing. And remember, it only takes one big fish to change your day. Slab out.